Ooh, that's
Kathy, do you mean
okay.
after being
This
married for so
microphone
long?
works extremely well. Yes, it does. Thank you, Joel.
All right, you guys, let's all mute each other on Zoom.
All righty. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our wonderful Rotary meetings. We are so excited today. We have some amazing guests, and I can't wait to hear more about that. If we could please start with the pledge. And if Mr. Lynn Seplow, could you please lead us in the pledge? The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Songsters. I know.
Okay.
You want to
I'll
laugh,
keep it
don't you, Michael? You have to plan your
like the Three Stooges up here.
The Three Stooges.
Manny.
I want to make sure everyone hears your amazing voices.
Up there.
I'll get up there, Joel.
Okay. You gotta sing. I will. I'll step in. You do this.
This is about giving away money today, right? The people out there, we're going to give away some money. Yes? Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But guess what? The best things in life are free. Okay.
Yeah.
You ready?
1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4.
Say
The
that.
best things in life are free. You can give them to the birds and bees. I want all. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Money don't get everything, is true. But I can use. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Give me money. What I want. What I want. That's what I want.
All right. You want to take this down there for Mr. Mike Person? Mr. Mike Personette. All right. Very nice, songsters. Okay, we're going to be doing some speed stuff today, but I'm going to quickly go through, let's see, wait a minute. Before I go there, we have our thought for the day, Mr. Mike Thompson. I almost went right over you.
Well, first of all, I wanted to mention I'm one of the people that wasn't, one of the members wasn't enthralled with our $25 and $32 meal options. I'm sure this is a lot better. So I did a little research, and for our meetings on the 18th and 25th, we'll be meeting at the club at Livermore, which is the old tennis club on Arroyo Road. They have a very nice room. We used in the old days, we've had a couple of Rotary demotions there. Bathrooms are right outside the door for our prostate friends. And there's an elevator for those that need an elevator. So we're going to try it, and with a new meal plan, which will have options. So on the 18th, I will be getting food from Strizzy's. There'll be several options, plus a salad and bread. And the following week will probably be Chinese, again, with lots of options. And the cost is $18, which includes tax and tip. and a few other things. We'll have a server. And we're going to have which I'm not familiar, but apparently this thing is great, a dip jar. For those of you that don't order ahead of time, you will be able to just use your credit card and pay when we get there. So this is something else for us to try. And please give me your feedback afterwards. And now, thought of the day. I have just a couple of quotes. First one, I had a rose named after me, and I was very flattered. But I was not pleased to read the description in the catalog. No good in bed, but fine against the wall. Eleanor Roosevelt. And finally, this one, I'm sure some of you have heard before, but I always find it fun. The secret of a good sermon is to have a good beginning and a good end. And and a good ending, and to have the two as close together as possible. George Burns. Thank you.
Okay, so quickly, our front line today, we have Spur reporter Matt Fuzzi, Spur publisher Ted Michaels, photographer extraordinaire Irv Stowers, Joel Swanson, thank you once again for audio visual. Our Zoom host is that Pat Coyle? Yep, Pat, and he is our Zoom chat monitor. Our greeter today was Sonia. Thank you so much. And our sergeant at arms over there, Trex. And Trex is there with the raffle tickets. And if anybody hasn't gotten theirs, please do. We have, I think, over $1,000 in the kitty. So please don't forget to get your raffle tickets. Our traveling mics, I don't know if we have any out there. Do we have? Oh, Christy, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And then our web mistress, Kathy Coyle. Okay, so just a couple quick announcements. Let's see here. Oh, visiting Rotarians. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. Okay, first of all, in Zoom land, which I don't have up here, do we have any visiting Rotarians or guests, Zoom land?
We do not, President Sheila.
Okay, great. How about any visiting Rotarians in the room? No. And now our recipients, we're going to introduce you later. So other than them, are there any guests? Oh, we have one right over here. A very important guest. Stand up there, buddy.
President Sheila and fellow Rotarians, it's my pleasure to introduce my privilege to introduce my one and only grandson, Sebastian Franz Ferrucci.
Woo, Sebastian, welcome, sweetheart.
He's wearing a Rotary pin too.
Oh, wow. Good job. Good job. Any other guests? Okay. Thank you so much. All right. And right along to our announcements. Okay. If we could give the microphone. Oh, we're getting birthdays and anniversaries. You know, I am really screwing up. So we're going to do birthdays and anniversaries now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go fast for Roland and I'm making a fool of myself here.
Okay, birthdays for October. Trex Donovan is October 9th. Trex. Okay. Alan Burnham, October 10th. Jacob Reed, October 12th. Patrick McMiniman, he's October 16th. And Paul McCandless, October 29th. And did you raise your hands, please, for your birthday? All right. Happy birthday, Rotarians, and we're ready. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Yay. All right, now on to wedding anniversaries. Keith Beck and Carol, 8 years on October 11th. Ted Michaels and Courtney, 16 years on the 28th. Loretta Caskey, October 9th is 19 years. Jim Schmidt, he and Bonnie are 32 years. Mike Morgan and Nancy are 40 years on October 28th. Chris Ising, he's not here, and Patty are 41 years on the 16th. Dennis O'Brien and Adele, October 3rd, 53 years. And TJ Gilmartin, October 21st, 56 years. Yay. My sunshine, my only sunshine. You keep me happy when skies are gray. You'll never, oh God, you sing so good. How much I love you. Please, we should form a duet. Sunshine away. I guess I'll look at this.
You did good. You did good. Thank you very much and congratulations to everyone. Okay. All right. Real quick, we've got this weekend chili cook-off. Morning Club is orchestrating this. I want to say thank you to many of you that volunteered to go and help. I'll be there as well. Wearing two hats. Cattle Women have a tasting booth and Rotary. So hope you all can make it. It's at Carnegie, 9 to 6. There's still slots for volunteering. And if you don't have time to volunteer, come down and taste. Anyway, good time to be had by all. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that's you. Go right ahead.
Hi there. You can all see that I have my walking shoes on. I have my walking hat on. I'm ready to go Saturday morning, and I'm helping to raise funds for the Tri-Valley Haven. It's a great charity in town, basically sheltering victims of domestic violence. And they've been around for 50 years and they're trying to expand and remodel their facilities so they can use all the help they can get. And in true Rotary tradition, I'm circulating a clipboard. I will get after you for any donations you may want to give to the Tri-Valley Haven. Worthy cause. See you all.
Thank you so much, Joel. Okay, next. Okay, Mike, are you gonna, Anita, please go right ahead. We can give her the mic.
Thanks. Yes, the inner wheel of Livermore, you probably have heard of us before, and a few of your members have got members that are in our club. But anyway, to make this really quick, we are doing a fundraiser for the Myoelectric Limb Bank, which is the inner wheel of USA Charity. And it's going to be a fun thing on Sunday, October 15th. It's only $25 a car. You can pile as many people in as you want. But anyway, the idea is we give you things on what you're going to try to find. And when you find them, you record them and you turn them in, and whoever wins. And there's actually some prizes. I'm not too sure exactly what, but there's prizes. I think pizza and wine and olive oil.
Ooh.
Anyway, that's it. Any other questions? Feel free to ask me afterwards. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Anita, very much. Okay, so next week, I just want to remind everybody, we will be back in this room. District Governor will be here. She's going to do the program. We're also going to have our little taste of Livermore during the meeting, kind of show off a little bit. We'll be spotlighting a local winery. And then also right before board members, we're going to do our little meeting back in the little normal room where we are ahead of time. So more information to come on that. Let's see. Next is, wait a minute, real quick. Bob Cowan, you got a quick announcement for us, please.
So the club's biggest fundraiser, the crab feed, officially starts tomorrow at my house, 6 o'clock. First meeting, we're going to try and organize ourselves, which is always really difficult. And so if you don't know where I live, you have to look it up on somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Ask
Yeah,
your club
Jack DB,
secretary.
Okay.
There you go.
And I'd also like to add, thank everybody that participated, either came or donated money to the Quanticam Fiesta afloat. We really had a good time. We raised a lot of money. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, one quick thing before I turn this over. Last night I went to the school board meeting and we received this amazing award. And I was so humbled and honored to be there to represent our club. They read off this unbelievable list of things that we do for the school district that it doesn't just impact the school district, these kids and their families. So I want you all to just take a moment and realize the impact you have and how you make a difference in our community. And last night I was so proud. So I'll give this to you, Joel. It was very well deserved. So give yourselves a big hand and thank you so much for all you do. And as well, you know, we can't do this without the Livermore Education Foundation and the Rotarian Foundation. But again, you all are a big part of it. And the last thing I saw on Facebook, we have a little park in town and I did not know that. And so this park district in the city is partnering with the Alameda County Waste Authority, and they got a grant, I guess, to change the grass in our little park, which is kind of kitty corner from Mike Ferrucci's house. They're going to put low water plants in there. And so they're going to do that this Sunday. But does anybody remember when that park was first developed and designed and dedicated to Livermore Rotary? And who said it? Oh, you sassy man, you. Yes, it is 1966. And our president at that time was Ralph Hoffman. And then again in the year 2000, we came back and built the arbor. And in 2000, who was our president? Sue Gallinger. So again, just to let you know, again, our hard work in this community with our partners, the Park District, I don't know how we could not do what we do without that amazing partnership. So if any of you have time on Sunday, you can go over there and volunteer, since some of you may have been there when this started. So Mike, you could actually do a long commute and go across the street. There you go. All right. So I want to thank you all very much. And I want to move this along to Roland so he can get through all of these amazing recipients. So we're starting you a little early, sir. Here you go.
We'll be done early.
There you go. All right.
Best meetings. Oh, well, thank you. Hey, I just want to share, just saying thank you. Start off with that as far as a couple quick ones. One is the bandstand. Holy smokes. That is such a wonderful thing the Rotary Group did. This last weekend, I'm going to pay a $250 President's Club for just saying that we had an event there Saturday and it just cooked. The bandstand made it happen. I want to thank Matt. There's a whole other Rotarians, Ronnie Forrest, our cook, but the bandstand was unbelievable.
Did I hear you say you were going to make a donation?
I am, yeah, $250 because I just so grateful for incredible Rotary. And but then I also just want to say I want to promote Tri-Valley Haven. What a good organization. They literally save lives. They are very quick in bringing in moms, kids, even men that are in dire situations. They make quite a difference. It's under the radar, but it happens every day and every moment of every day by them. So great organization. I also just want to say thank you. The club, we have $10,000 we're doing today between us and my incredible fellow announcer. I want to bring up Elise. Think not for rent. You want Elise. Elise Allen, come on up. She's representing Livermore Education Fund. And we'll be doing a bit of back and forth just on these awards. I also really want to thank my fellow compatriot, Linda Stanford. And if you notice, it might be a little more organized this year. It's because her and working with Norm, who's so easy. No, Norm is awesome, but she was just in charge, making it all happen. I really want to thank her and putting all these things together, and thank Norm and thank all the others that the board for approving all this. But today's awards, I also want to thank, I don't think she's here, Melissa Theda. She is our assistant superintendent. She was a part of our meeting and making all things happen for this event. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask a couple of people to make their way up, probably on the right side over here. And we're going to announce two. First is Christensen Middle School. If Jessica Johnson is here, and then we're asking for Del Val. I don't think Arturo is here today, but if those two people are here, and then I'll add Granada High School, and this is for video productions. It's Alexandria. If those people could come over here, and some are not here today just because they could not get out of class. We understand that. And we are still forever grateful for them. And so right now, I think we have our first person, and you're with Granada High School. Come on up. And this is Alexandria. And Alexandria Janda is up here. There we go. And she's a video production camera. She's going to take a minute to talk about her program, but we're so grateful you're here. We're grateful for LVEF and partnering with us directly on this. So go ahead, please.
Hi, everyone. So thankful for Rotary and LVEF for this grant. Basically what my students do is they make movies, they make commercials, we had homecoming week this week, and we were live streaming everything for parents and folks at home. And we filmed the graduation so grandparents and everyone can see who can't make it. The cameras are really expensive, and it's expensive hobby. And without grants from Rotary and LVEF, I don't think my just public school funds could fund all these cameras. The students go on to graduate, and I have some students working in production now. They're at, CSU Monterey. Some people are applying for jobs with the skills that they've learned in this class. So we are, helping our kids, our youth for a future, helping get them careers and getting them into college, and just getting them into a hobby that they really enjoy and they have a passion for. So thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have checks. The Norm's done. Thank you, Norm. And those will all be going to the district office this afternoon or in the morning for all of you that are with the school systems. The other grants, we have the check to hand immediately. But I just want to say thank you so much for Alexandria. I want to just mention something about my good friend Elise. Elise is a retired teacher, and she said, "I am not tired. I'm going to get into the thick of it." She's up in San Francisco doing these walking tours for people to understand the magnificent history of that great city. And so I'm so grateful to have with me a teacher that's not tired, that is out and doing good work. Hey, I'm going to turn this over for the next one to Elise, but if we could have Granada High School, the library, if Adair's here, and then Granada High School, Hannah, if you could come up too, please. I'll get to do Hannah. That's so exciting. And then also fourth grade, Maryland Avenue, C. Bowler, if you're here, please come up. So this first one, I'm going to turn it over to my very good counterpart, Elise, and ask her to do the first one. What school are you with? Granada. Okay.
So can we hear a little bit about your program? And I don't really know what else to say because I'm kind of new at this.
You're doing perfect.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Hi, I'm Adair Spence. I'm the teacher librarian at Granada High, and Denise Roberts is the library media service specialist. And we work together to make sure our library is inviting and up to date and engaging as possible. And last year, you guys actually gave us a good chunk of money to help update our fiction section. We went from having an average purchase data of 2001, the same year I graduated from Granada, and it's been bumped up a little bit from that, and we're really grateful. And now we're looking at our nonfiction and trying to get that into the 2000s. So we are reaching out to teachers and asking them what we can buy to support their curriculum. And so far, I just sent it out like a day ago. And so far, science and a couple other departments are like giving great suggestions. And we're excited to promote their curriculum within our library with the use of this grant. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right. So the next one, I have to say, this is really fun. I've only done this a few years now, and thank you to Mary Rocha for the original coach trying to get me to do things right. And it's getting better and better because we also brought in Linda. But I want to say that this is the first time we've seen a club, or I have anyway, I'm sure they've had in the past, but a super cool club, the Spanish and language club. And they're going to be doing a field trip. And this is, I want to introduce Hannah, and I'm going to have Hannah talk about her club and talk about the kids that are in it and what's the project you're going to do. Come on up, Hannah.
Thank you so much for having me. I want to thank the Rotary Club and LVEF for this amazing opportunity. So basically, I'm president of the Spanish Language and Culture Club at Granada High School, and our goal is to help students gain a love for Spanish and help them if they're struggling, or just help them learn the culture. And every year, Senora Gracia takes all her students on a trip to the San Francisco MoMA. So this was a grant to help with that, and just to encourage people to come and learn more about Spanish history and just gain a love for it. So I want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, just real quick, just talk about, do you know, as far as this community, how large the population is of Spanish speaking people? Do you have an idea?
I don't have an exact number, but I know there's quite a big population.
There's a lot.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Hannah.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. I didn't realize, but there's in this city, and this, I think it's an undercount of the 92,000 in Livermore, there's 20,000 that are Spanish speaking. And so it's a great population of people that that we all know and love. And we're so appreciative of our wonderful Spanish neighbors. Okay, the next ones we're gonna have Marilyn. Oh no, I already called that one. We're gonna do Joe Mitchell, and that's Margaret Bell if you're here. Livermore High School, Zachary Rednecka, and sorry about that. And then Big John, here he comes, my good friend. So why don't you do that first two when they come up?
So I need to say, this guy is much more entertaining, and he could be a commercial for anything. So I'm going to actually turn it over to him, and I'll be the handshaker. Is that good?
Oh,
Because he's really funny, and I just sit here and stumble.
you
You're
do not
amazing.
stumble.
I'll be the handshaker.
Okay, okay, perfect. So first, what do we have? Joe Mitchell. There you go. So Joe Mitchell, and we just want to invite Margaret Bell to come up and to talk to her great project.
Okay, can you remember being a middle schooler? Many of you might even have grandchildren that are middle schoolers, so you know what they're going through. What we're seeing at Joe Mitchell is these kids that have gone through COVID years as youngsters in elementary, and they're now in middle school ages, and they've forgotten how to communicate completely. We're seeing them at break time, and without their phones and computers, they sit and look at each other. There is no communication going on at all. And so what we're looking for is a way to teach them how to interact with each other. And it is really at a crisis point. So what we're looking for, and we are very thankful for, is a way to implement game playing. And we've sent out a survey to the kids, and we have a list now of games that they want to play. And it is as simple as Uno and Trouble, games that they would have played maybe even as 8 and 9-year-olds, they're now wanting to play as 11 and 13-year-olds. So thank you very much. That's what we're going to be playing as middle schoolers. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Just as a side note, I had a young man here, 17 years old, from at one of the high schools, as a guest of mine, and visited. And what he said after was, I don't see how it will be possible for my generation, he's talking about his age, to ever have Rotary, because he had never seen anything where this level of communication between people working together, and kind of this thing is so foreign to him. And so I do love this whole thing where the schools are bringing in games to just, get people focused not on their phone, but on each other. So that's a beautiful thing, and thankful for Rotary for doing that for all of us every week. So the next one is we're going to bring up, this is Zachary, correct? Zachary, and he has a 2-day celebration. So come on up and talk about the Day of the Dead and what you're doing there.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. First, I want to say thank you to Rotary and LVEF for this generous award. My name is Zachary Radke. I'm a counselor at Livermore High School. I run the Wellness Center there, where we try to create an inclusive space for all students at Livermore High to support their mental health and wellness. Specifically, we're going to be having a Day of the Dead celebration on November 2nd at school in an attempt to invite as many folks as possible and to support native Spanish speaking students. So we're gonna have an altar and food celebration. And so your support is invaluable in making that happen. So appreciate it.
Can you tell us just Day of the Dead
Yeah, so Day of the Dead is a traditional Spanish holiday where they celebrate culture and family. And so we're tying it to themes of mental health around grief and support for students' mental health. Thank you.
So I brought my twin brother, and I wanted to just talk briefly about John. John works for a department within the school that used to be the truancy officer that used to chase down most of us when we were kids. But then you get a spanking or something. But today, that's not what happens. Truancy officers are frontline defense for helping people in serious trouble. If a child's not going to school, there's a reason behind it. And John has a team, and he's one of the leaders there, that they go out and they visit with families, sit with them, hear the mom just say, man, this is what we're struggling with. And then they do the next step, which is not just saying, we'll do better. Instead, they say, how can we help? Let me give you connections to food. Let me give you connections to car repair. Let me give you connections, a host of things. And so this man here, always love seeing him come into the room. I get a call from John and I go, okay, take this right now. And so he's always helping, and he's such a servant heart. So John, come up, talk about the program.
Roland, thank you for the nice words. My name is John Flores. I go by Big John. Still trying to figure out why, but anyway, I'm one of 3 CWAs for the Livermore School District. And one of our main focuses is school, not only just school attendance, but we also help families and students in need. And with this donation we're getting, we're going to be able to help a couple of families with clothes for school, transportation, and school supplies. So we're going to be putting it to very good use. And it's a big honor to be here today, because this is my first Rotary meeting and my first time writing a grant. And to get this donation for our program is something very special, and I can't wait to put it to good use and help these families out that need help. And me coming from from a childhood where I had a struggling mom, I understand what it takes to get some help. And the help, any little help that could be provided is awesome, especially in today's world with everything getting so expensive and hard to come by. This donation is going to be put to good use, and happy to share with my other CWA team. Thank you very much.
It's kind of nice to walk around with John, and people actually stop and say, can I help you? If you ask him a question. He is such a pleasure. And yeah, I have to say, last point is he brings the term gentleness to everything he does. And so I've seen him work and seen him in action. He's a brilliant man. Thank you, John. Okay, we're going to move on. We have 2 left. We have Mendenhall Middle School and Rancho Las Positas. If Rebecca's here and Danica's here, and come on up, and then we'll talk to this. I think this is Danica. Is this Danica? Come on up, Danica Wu. She's with the science department. How many of you loved science when you were a kid? Okay, how many of you were terrible and hated science? Right here, come on, come on. Oh, okay, a couple of us. I know everybody else works for the lab. You're all a lot smarter than the rest of us, but anyway, we're so thankful. Science is a core, obviously science and math, and the school's pushing, and us as a community supporting the anything to do with science and math and reading, obviously is a core thing. So I want to introduce Danica. Come on up, talk about what you're doing.
First of all, thank you so much for this grant. I am one of the science specialists at Rancho Las Positas Elementary, And pre-COVID, we had family science nights, and it stopped for a few years because of COVID. And so we just started it up again this year. And me and my fellow science specialists want to create science activity kits that are permanent, that we can pull out every year to put on our family science night. We just had our first family science nights post-COVID a couple weeks ago, and we had almost 500 people show up. So we are so happy to get this grant so that we can start creating these kits for ourselves and to be able to promote the love of science to our students and their families for the next coming years. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Danica. And now I'm gonna keep, just so you know, she's not leaving because she is the greatest handshaker in the world. So we're gonna just run through a few of the great nonprofits and those that are serving our community with different things, and they'll be coming up and doing the same thing. So if the Crayon Initiative, if Jonathan is here, Culinary Angels, Lisa, if you're here, and then Girls Soccer Worldwide, if you can make your way over, that would be perfect. All right. And who are you with? Lori. Okay. So the first one will come. Jonathan, is Jonathan here?
I'm Jonathan.
Oh, we have Jonathan. I'll tell you right now, much nicer than Jonathan. We're glad he's not here.
Thank you, Roland. I am Lori D. Selms, and I'm honored and privileged to be accepting this award for the CRAN Initiative. Jonathan unfortunately was not able to make it, but on behalf of the CRAN Initiative, Brian Ware, the founder, and all of the board and all of our volunteers, we greatly appreciate this award. For those of you who don't know anything about the CRAN Initiative, first of all, who loves to color and use crayons? Great opportunity. The CRAN Initiative was founded about 10 years ago by the founder, Brian Ware. Him and his family were out in a restaurant. The kids were, back in the day, you get a box of crayons, you could color while you were eating. The kids could color while they're eating. He asked what happens with all of those crayons when they're done with them. The restaurant owner said, we just toss them. It's a huge waste to the landfill. So Brian, being the tinkerer that he is, he decided, let's figure out a way to make use of these crayons. So he started collecting crayons, figured out how to melt them, came up with unique mold and a design, and basically created and actually worked with a therapist to create a 3-sided fat triangle crayon that can be used for children in children's hospitals. And he has a huge love of the arts for therapeutic healing. And so he's worked with children's hospitals, and we actually donate the crayons that we make to children's hospitals around the United States. We donate to about 250 children's hospitals across the United States. We basically take used unwanted crayons from schools, families, and restaurants. We sort them, recycle them, remanufacture them into a new box of crayons, and we actually deliver them to the hospitals across the United States. It's a great way for children who are suffering from any type of illness in a hospital to kind of deal with that stress and anxiety of being in the hospital. So we are super grateful for this award. Just know that you are bringing a smile to a child's heart. The children, the pediatric children, are the heroes of our project and of our organization. And so we can't do this without you. So thank you very much.
Okay, I think we've got Culinary Angels stepping in here. Is this Lisa? Oh, got it right. So Lisa, please come up and talk about Culinary Angels.
Hi, I'm Lisa McNanny from Culinary Angels, and I just want to echo really what your president Sheila said. You all are amazing. I mean, truly, you've been huge supporters of Culinary Angels over the years, and I just really want to thank you. We're a small organization, but we've been around for 7 years. I'm the founder and executive director, and for those of you who don't know what we do, we provide organic healing meals and nutrition education to people who are going through cancer, and also their caregivers. How many have been a caregiver, whether it's emotional or physical? it's a really tough job. And so we want to make sure that they're being supported while they're assisting their loved one through this really important healing process. We're mostly volunteer. We have over 150 volunteers and a very small staff. So almost every dollar goes directly into our program. And we're just really grateful. This money is actually, the grant was applied so that we could provide soup containers. We do compostable materials, and this provided, I think, 5 cases. So we're really, really grateful for this Rotary in particular and your support. We have a gala coming up. I would be crazy if I didn't give that a little plug in 2 weeks on October 21st at Garay. And we're looking for board members. So if anybody is dying to jump on a really great board and lend some support and direction, please go to culinaryangels.org, and mostly just thank you. We're super grateful for your support and appreciate being a part of this amazing community. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That is unfortunately, one of my favorite things to do is to eat. My wife's working on that with me, but next we had the pleasure just a little while ago of having girls soccer here. And it's actually, let's pronounce this, girls soccer worldwide. Huge fan. I got to way back. My wife actually married a 170-pound soccer player. You guys would not know that. Played at Cal State East Bay, or now, but I played left bench and left out. I wasn't good enough at that level, but I had such a good time. I got to coach. I was a coach of a world champion girls soccer team. We went 1-11. They were really good. That was, Bill Walsh's daughter was on my team. We were great fun, but we were terrible. But so that's my experience with girls soccer. Come on up, please.
Thank you so much for that. And yes, we were here probably about 6 weeks ago when we did our presentation. And just, I need to start out by saying thank you to all of you who generously donated to our campaign. It's making an impact already. But just a reminder, I'm Pamela Jacobson, and this is my husband, Walter Prate. We are co-founders of Girls Soccer Worldwide together, and we empower girls to rise out of poverty through sports, education, and leadership opportunities. And at the heart of it all, really what we're doing is breaking down socioeconomic barriers so that every girl has access to the opportunities to reach her greatest potential. But we even go a little bit deeper. It's really about helping them discover their own self-worth and value first, and then stepping into their communities to create that change. Looking at our next generation of leaders. And so this grant is going to be staying here locally, working on our grassroots leadership program. So we work with our Title I schools, and we focus specifically on girls who are impacted by our pay-to-play system. And what that means, we all know that the soccer industry is very expensive. And also pay to play when it comes to just participating in extracurricular activities. So we use soccer as a connector, as a gateway in communities that it's their absolute love language. And we provide soccer drills. We provide time for them to possibly fall into love with the game and enjoy a sport that they naturally wouldn't be able to. But then we also use half of that time to dive into conversations that matter. We focus on what we call the 4 C's of leadership, which is confidence, courage, character, and compassion. And we're really focusing on our next leaders in our own community. And that's starting with our 6 to 13-year-old girls during a time of great influence and impact. So thank you so much. It's going to be for our snacks, keeping them healthy.
Thank you.
All right, some of you probably say, I don't believe it, Roland. You were a lineman. That was what most people say. Did you play offense or defensive football? And it's like, I really want to hear, did you play linebacker? And so, but if you don't believe me, you go to my wife's, just her Facebook page. You'll see pictures of me when I was once young and good looking. And so, all right, moving on. We have 3 right now. Let me see. We want to ask Our Savior Lutheran School. Amanda, if there anybody, Allie Fair, and then Anna Wu, if you're here from Our Savior Lutheran, please come up. So we have those 3. Oh, we have the ultimate representative. Come on up. So while she's making her way up, I want you to turn to your neighbor and tell them one great thing about him. Tell them one great thing that you see. It could be anything. Just go turn to your neighbor. Tell them something. Tell.
Very entertaining, compassionate.
Church kind of thing.
Soccer. Oh, you're fusion soccer. I like that. You're next.
Who's this guy?
Well, just to show you how slick I am, I left out a very important Fusion Soccer Club. This is a really great effort working with the disabled and whatnot. But we're going to just come on up and just share about Fusion Soccer.
So I am not Amanda Parks. I'm Susan Muckner, and I am the board director for Top Soccer and fundraising at Livermore Fusion Soccer Club. And the program that you guys funded is our Top Soccer program. It's a 100% community give back, a free program for kids with any mental, intellectual, or physical disabilities. So this program is starting actually this Sunday is the first day. It's our first time back after the pandemic. We have our professional coaching staff out there as long as volunteers from throughout the community as buddies. And we provide the kids with soccer drills and short-sighted games. We provide them a full soccer kit. So uniforms, shin guards, cleats, socks, everything they could possibly need. So I really want to thank Rotary for supporting this program. It's my email attached to the program. And so I get to see all the comments coming from the parents. And they're extremely excited because there is not a lot of opportunities for their kids to participate in organized sports and have the social connection aspect that this program is bringing to them. So thank you for all the wonderful work, your infinite wisdom, Roland and his grant committee for choosing us, but also all of you out there for the great work, because I know many of you are wearing multiple hats in our community. And I just wanted to say thank you for all the work you're doing.
I have a nephew that plays in that similar like league. He has Down syndrome, and it is amazing. And so if you haven't experienced something like that, this is such a great program. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is anybody here from Our Savior Lutheran? If you are, please come up. And at the same time, we're going to ask for Partners for Change with Terry. And then I'm not sure if Gail's here today with Tri-Valley Bus Program. I know Rains in Motion will be our own president. We'll do you last. So, but Terry, come on up if you're here with any of those organizations. Those three. Okay, good. Huh. All right. I'd like to introduce Terry Milano. She runs a program called Partners for Change. Tell us about Partners for Change, Terry.
First, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for selecting us. And Partners for Change is an organization that teaches behavioral skills to folks that are struggling with poverty. So we do an education and mentorship program. It's a weekly program that goes for about 6 months. And we bring in all kinds of educational pieces, from financial literacy, which is really the obvious stuff, but a lot of things that impact people's relationship with money and with other people and their functionality just in the community. So we do this at Asbury Church once a week on Tuesday nights, 6 to 8 p.m. And it's completely free. We have a meal together, build a community together, a supportive community for each other, and everybody's welcome. Thank you very much. Put your glass.
There we go.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I just want to mention about Partners for Change. When she says partner, it's a true partnership. And so she works with several nonprofit organizations, including my own. And with that, I said, hey, listen, there's no way the moms can drive there and get there. You're thinking some of them just can't do it. And even with the dinner, they have babysitters. And so she goes, Roland, how about a Zoom class? So every Thursday at noon to 1, she hosts anywhere between 10 to 30 women, mostly women. There's a couple of guys. I'm in the class too. And all around these different aspects of how to live life. But the core being, what I see as the core is the finance piece. because it's one thing to just help people, but it's another thing when you learn how to do your finance and actually maintain a budget. And so I really want to appreciate Partners for Change and all you guys are doing. The next one is one of my favorites, near and dear to my heart. This is going to be Gail Cobe, and Gail's going to come up. This is with the Tri-Valley Bus Pass program. Go ahead, Gail.
Hi, my name is Gail, and you may be used to seeing Jackie Paulson up here at times. Jackie, 8 years ago, developed the Bus Pass program. And essentially what it is we provide bus passes to agencies that know their clientele and know those in need. And they distribute these bus passes to people so that those that are homeless or those that are really in financially very difficult positions can take a bus to get their laundry done, to go and pick up food from a pantry, to get to Cornerstone for other services, to get to healthcare services. Just recently, I heard about somebody who's been using their free bus pass for a job interview. Was able to get up. He lives in his car, but he had no way of getting, the car doesn't run, but he has no way of getting for a job interview. So the bus pass was used for that. Bus passes go to Tri-Valley Haven, Access, Seek and Serve. The bus pass is $3.75. They go for 24 hours. It's a 24-hour pass that someone can use. $410 will buy 112 passes so that some individual somewhere can get to the food pantry, can get their clothes washed, can get to see other services. And we thank you. It's very appreciated. Thank you.
I just have to make a comment on that, Gail and her team. I mean, it's impressive. We are one of the beneficiaries, and it is a huge difference maker for so many. That 20, and the unique thing is that they get the 24-hour pass. So I mean, these people, individuals, can go all day long. And so it's a very, very cool thing. Hey, the last one we're going to do, and then we're going to turn the meeting back to the president. And I got to get credit for being early. That always feels good. But I want to say Reins in Motion, there was a anonymous donor that helped round out all our donations. I don't want to say who it was, Sheila. I don't want to say that the president of this club that, made a nice donation so we could really finish strong with every group that came forward. And so I'm going to have Sheila come on up, the donor, to help and just talk a little bit about Reins in Motion and what a powerful organization that is. Sheila?
Okay, everyone. Well, Reins in Motion, Katie Kempton that is the recipient of this. I know she truly, truly appreciates this. Reins in Motion does amazing things in our community. They supply an opportunity for not just children with special needs, but also adults and veterans. And they have what's wonderful of these animals that are donated to them that they care for. And some of them are well seasoned, but they're still in pretty good shape. So to keep those animals in shape, there is this piece of equipment that helps the animals, just like us building our core. It helps strengthen the animal, enabling them to have good posture. In return, the rider also has good posture, and it helps in two ways because it's giving the child or adult that opportunity to have that balance. And for a lot of them, equilibrium and balance are really a big issue. So this keeps not only the horse in shape, but it helps the individual riding. So these two items, they'll be able to use on many horses. And I've watched them in use, and it's such a simple thing, but it does an amazing job. So thank you all. And I know the difference it will make for so many in our community. So I appreciate that. You bet.
Okay, we're gonna have the president. All of us are gonna stay up here, but I just want to. One of the things that Reins in Motion that is so impressive. A father of a child, big rancher guy. I've told this story before. The only time his child speaks, the only time she speaks, was when she's riding a horse. So he goes every time. to watch her and hear her speak. So anyway, really cool program. Anyway, here's the last thing we're gonna do. We're all gonna stand up. You're gonna turn to somebody next to you and tell them one thing, one program. It doesn't have to be any of these, something that you like in the world that's doing good right now. You have 1 minute and then we're gonna close out. So stand up, talk to somebody, say one program that you know and like, and tell them why.
That I love that we actually, it's the mini bites. I really because it's in. Whereas some of them, you know, they've got it takes forever for them to get their money. They go through things important. This is a way to immediately make a difference. And that's what I think is key with the mini bites. Thank you so much. I'll make sure she gets it.
Beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
We'll get out of your way.
All right. Okay. Perfect. Okay. All righty, ladies and gentlemen. Has that been a minute? Not yet? No. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's hear for everyone. Elise, thank you so much. Okay, so we've got 4 minutes. Yeah. You know, all of you, there was something that happened a minute ago or two. I heard a little noise in the group. And because our fellow TJ, can we hit you up for $10? Yep, we can hit you up for $10. Thank you, TJ. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of you. The monies that you donate to our club, the difference that you made today was impressive. It really touches my heart, and we make a difference in such an amazing way. I am so proud of each and every one of you. It looks like we might be done a little early. Now, we do have a big giant check. Oh, and are you going to take the picture outside with everybody? Okay, we'll do that outside. Okay, perfect. Okay, we have our raffle. So, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, you want to give us that?
Yes, Madam President. Our total balance right now is $1,168. The winning ticket today is 460-5277 for half of that total.
Again? All righty. Okay, quickly, I just want to remind you, next week we will be in this room again. And our district governor will be here. She will be doing the program. We will also have our little taste of Livermore. So you'll get to sample a little bit of wine. I'm just kind of showing off a little bit in front of the district governor. And then also too, don't forget about the chili cook-off. If you can support the morning club, that would be great. And then at the end, if those of you, your recipients, please be sure we're taking a photo outside if you could all gather outside. So once again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Is there anything else since we've got 2 minutes? Does anybody have anything else they'd like to either share, confess? Oh, who's doing that? Oh, here we got somebody.
Any new members still working to get their blue badge requirements done? The board of directors meeting before the meeting next week counts as visiting a board of directors meeting.
That's right. We're going to have a little board of directors meeting before. So yes, if any of you need to check that off your list. And I get to pay $10 because somebody just called me on my phone. Oh, and then I've got one quick thing I left. Okay, and one quick thing, the district governor, as we said, will be visiting next week. You will be getting from our wonderful Gowd a pledge card by email for TRF donations. Let Gowd know by returning via email. What we would like to be able to do with the district governor here is show off a little bit and have as many recognitions as possible, because that actually is in her agenda, that she wants to have that part of the presentation, is that acknowledging those, which I didn't know. I got my agenda from her today on how I'm conducting my meeting next week. But anyway, that is part of it. So please, if you would not mind, and if you haven't already, please respond. We would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day.